JKT48. JKT48 read as Kelvin T48 is an Indonesian-Japanese idol girl group whose name is derived from its base city of Jakarta and the Japanese idol group AKB48. Formed in 2011, the group is the first AKB48 sister group outside Japan and adopts the concept of idols you can meet, before switching to idols that will come to meet you since April 8, 2018. The group opened their own theatre in the 4th floor of FX Sudirman shopping mall in early September 2012, where fans can attend daily performances except on Monday. The theatre was built as a close replica to the AKB48 Theater in Akihabara. While JKT48 does not restrict membership by nationality, applicants must be residents of Indonesia. As of 31 October 2022, the group has 47 individual members. On 16 February 2013, JKT48 released its first studio album Heavy Rotation via Hits Records, a division of MNC subsidiary Star Media Nusantara. The group typically performs songs of AKB48 and other sister groups that are translated into Indonesian. The group released their first original single, Rapsodi, in January 2020. Conception. Much like AKB48, the female Japanese idol group formed in 2005 in Akihabara, Tokyo, JKT48 is based on the concept of idols with whom fans can meet, or at least develop a similar feeling of intimacy. JKT48 takes its name from the group's base city of Jakarta, Indonesia. The country was seen as a potential market for the idol business because of its relatively young population at about half or under the age of 30 and the popularity of Japanese manga series, such as Slam Dunk and One Piece. In order to bring the concept of AKB48 to Indonesia, producer Satoshi Kimoto and Dentsu Media Group Indonesia partnered with the country's largest media conglomerate, Global Mediacom and Rakuten. In an interview on CNN Talk Asia program, Kimoto responded to the question of why he selected Indonesia as the first target of AKB48's overseas expansion. People in Indonesia were interested in AKB48, that is why we decided to try it in Jakarta. Kids watched AKB on the internet and they want to do the same, but they don't know whether they have talent. Also, it's difficult to go to Japan to audition. Then Rakuten MNC Chief Marketing Officer Ino Barak and Arya Sinalinga recounted of his visit to Japan. When I watched AKB48's theatre performance in Akihabara, I sensed the potential for new business in Indonesia. 2011-2012 Formation. On 11 September 2011, the formation of JKT48 was announced at an AKB48 event held at Makuhari Mess in Chiba, Japan. Applicant interviews took place the following weeks in late September 2011, and the first auditions were held a month after the initial announcement, from 8-9 October 2011. AKB48 member Manami Takahashi also visited Jakarta during the audition to promote JKT48 among fans of AKB48. Although applicants did not have to be Indonesian citizens, they did have to already reside in the country. Approximately 1,200 girls auditioned for the group, and 51 were selected to proceed to the second round. Finalists were judged based on their dance performance of Heavy Rotation from AKB48's single of the same name and their performance of a song of their choice. JKT48's 28 first-generation members, ages 12-21, were selected on 2 November 2011. On 17 December 2011, JKT48 made its first public appearance on the live music program 100% AMP on Global TV, performing Heavy Rotation with lyrics translated into Indonesian. As part of the concept of idols you can meet every day, AKB48 performs daily at its theatre in Akihabara. The JKT48 management team aimed to accomplish the same principle and began scouting locations in Jakarta for the group's own theatre in early 2012. An unoccupied site in the FX Sudirman shopping mall was selected as the theatre's eventual location, and planning for its renovation began in April. In the meantime, the first theatre performances were held 17-20 May 2012 at a temporary stage in the Nai Jangsering building in Kuningan, Jakarta. The official theatre opened on 8 September 2012 for daily performances with a set list of 16 songs that have been translated into Indonesian. The theatre first had a seating capacity of 180 and standing room for 30, and its design is a close replica of the AKB48 Theatre. Currently it holds around 350 people, both seated and standing. JKT48 has also performed in Japan alongside other AKB48 sister groups. In its first performance in Japan, the group was a surprise guest at 2011 AKB48 Kohoku Teiko Yutagasan and performed the Indonesian version of Jakarta. It also performed alongside AKB48 and other sister groups at the 62nd NHA Kohoku Yutagasan with a total 210 members on stage. It also participated in the 2012 AKB48 concerts at Saitama Super Arena and Tokyo Dome. On 13 August 2012, management began accepting applications for second-generation members. Of the 4,500 applicants, approximately 200 were selected for interviews the following month. The pool was then narrowed down from 67 to 31 in a selection round held by RCTI. All 31 finalists were eventually chosen as second-generation members at the final audition on 3 November in Japan. Additionally, AKB48 members Kitakojo and Haruka Nakagawa, whose transfers to JKT48 were announced at the Tokyo Dome concert, officially began their activities with the group on 1 November and made their theatre debut on 26 December. Nakagawa became interested in Jakarta during a visit with other members of AKB48 earlier in February 2012. 2013-2020 ups and downs. JKT48 was scheduled to release its debut album in January 2013, but production was hampered because of flooding in Jakarta. To celebrate the release, the group's management team had distributed 100,000 free CD singles. Each single featured an Indonesian version of one of 4 songs: Heavy Rotation, Kimi no Koso Gosuki Takara, Baby, 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 and Ponytail to Shushu. Members, some of whom had been directly affected by the flooding, later held a charity event in order to raise funds for the city's relief efforts. The debut album, entitled Heavy Rotation, had a limited release at the JKT48 Theater on 16 February 2013 and went on sale in music stores nationwide on 2 March. All of the 4 songs aforementioned were included in the album. Throughout 2013, JKT48 released 4 singles: River 11 May, Apaka Paka Kamela Hatman Tori Senya 3 July, Fortune Cookie Gone Menton to 21 August, and Musampona Sounds Good 26 November. The 3rd single was released concurrently with its parent group AKB48. On 28 January 2014, JKT48 announced the names of 63 finalists who were vying to become JKT48 trainees in the 3rd generation. On 15 February, the group announced and performed its 5th single Flying Cat. On 24 February 2014, Rina Chikano was transferred from AKB48 to JKT48, with Kita Kojo and Bernanazawa's concurrent positions were cancelled. On 26 April 2014, JKT48 finished its first annual Sambatsu election, with the 16 ranked members going to appear in JKT48's 6th single, Jan Check, released on 11 June 2014. On 27 August 2014, the group released Patman Pen and Isihati, with Chania Junior Natha taking the centre position for the first time, and Rina Chikano and Thela Avanka Elizabeth appearing in Sambatsu for the first time. The single was released concurrently with AKB48, the 2nd consecutive year of such. The group's 8th single, Angan Setting Berhembis, was released on 24 December 2014. On 20 February 2015, JKT48 held a collaboration concert with AKB48 in Jakarta. 15 members of AKB48 was sent to Jakarta for the concert, including Yu Yokoyama, Wikata Harver, and Asuka Kiramochi. On 27 March 2015, JKT48 released its 9th single, Perawat Emerald. On 2 May 2015, JKT48 held its 2nd Sambatsu election, with 16 ranking members are featured in the group's 10th single Kabuki Refrain. Jessica Veranda displaced Melody Laxoni to win the election. On 26 August 2015, JKT48 released its 11th single, Halloween Night, the 3rd consecutive year of concurrent single release with AKB48. On 21 March 2017, JKT48 general manager Jairo now committed suicide by hanging at his house in South Tangerang, Banten, Indonesia, possibly due to work pressure. In an attempt to attract young spectators, the Indonesia Asian Games Organising Committee (INASGOC) collaborated with the group during the 2018 Asian Games. They performed in select sporting events between 19 August and 1 September, and a group consisted of 8 members from each of its teams. JKT48 announced that it had got the green light for its first original single during the 7th anniversary concert on 22 December 2018, and the selected members were chosen nearly a year later through the annual election. The song, entitled, was first performed during the 8th anniversary concert in Surabaya exactly a year after the announcement, and was released on 22 January 2020. 2020 present, following the COVID-19 pandemic. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia, one TNT member named Shafika Riyadi was announced to be positive for the disease on 28 September 2020. Over the next month, 2 more members of the team had also been announced to be positive as well. In November 2020, JKT48 announced it would forcibly mass graduate its members and staffs following the group's crisis due to the pandemic. The group had previously announced the 10th generation members of the group consisted of 11 members, but cancelled their debut following the announcement. On 11 January 2021, the group announced 26 of its members would leave the group, leaving only 33 members. They officially left the group mid-March 2021. All 3 teams were then dissolved and the academy stopped its operation. On 18 December 2021, the group reintroduced 8 of the 11 10th generation members. It also announced its 23rd and 2nd original single, to be produced by Matt Rad and August Rigo, who previously worked with world-renowned groups like Buzz Room and 2 Men, BTS, Little Mix, NCT Dream, One Direction, and Pentatonix, as well as soloists Spiken, Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, Martin Garrix, Selena Gomez, Sean Kingston, Demi Lovato, Ollie Murs, Meghan Trainor, and Keith Urban. The single, titled, was released on 17 June 2022. Members. As of 31 October 2022, the group individually consists of 47 members, 25 members from the pre-pandemic era, 8 trainees from the 10th generation, and 40 new trainees from the 11th generation. Promotion and media. JKT48 follows its Japanese sister group AKB48 in order to boost the record sales through a variety of marketing strategies. The main track for each single is sung by a team consisting of popular members from JKT48's teams, with one of the girls selected as the center performer or center. The singles and albums are released in different types with alternate type and voting codes for annual election contests. Alan Swartz of NTV Japan has noted that collectors purchasing multiple copies of AKB48 CD have inflated the market and is one of the reasons Japan's music industry has been booming. 6 elections have been held, most recently in 2019. JKT48 is billed as a unique idol group with Indonesian culture. Harris Thayer, president director of the group's promotional agent and Sumidi Group Indonesia, believe the group's concept will make our idols more down to earth, being always nice and able to be greeted anytime. The group was seen as part of the Cool Japan brand adopted by the Japanese government to promote the country's culture around the world. On 25 February 2012, JKT48 held a joint concert with AKB48 at the Japan Pop Culture Festival at Balai Kartini in Jakarta. The event was sponsored by the Embassy of Japan, the Japanese Agency for Cultural Affairs, and the Indonesian Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. According to Chunchi Shimoda, deputy to the Japanese ambassador, AKB48 was invited to perform because of its status as a Japanese pop icon, and the two sister groups represent the friendship between Japan and Indonesia. JKT48 appeared in television shows almost daily after its debut in television advertisements by Japanese companies that intend to capture a share of the rapidly growing Indonesian market. Otsuka Pharmaceutical hired JKT48 to promote the company's Pocari Sweat beverages 1 month after the group's first members were announced. Sharp Corporation selected JKT48 to appear at the company's promotional events, and Yamaha Motor Company hired the group in order to promote its line of fuel-efficient Mio J scooters to Indonesian teens. Sake Glico also featured the group in its advertisements as part of an effort to grow sales in Indonesia to over 1 billion. Teenagers and single young men make up the largest portion of the JKT48 and AKB48 fan base. Furthermore, some believe JKT48's idol concept does not fit the Indonesian culture.